Like in my view, accountability and abundance go hand in hand. From my perspective, cause like say for instance, right? I go like, cause I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. I was say, cause hold me accountable to that. Like you got on me earlier about something for the podcast. Something we got to do on the back end of the podcast. You like, cause you supposed to be had it. And I was like, you right. I'm in the wrong for that. I'm gonna get on that this week. Right, so like having those like intimate conversations, having those safe spaces too, to have those conversations. Because if we weren't like close, like bro, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be that type of situation. Like it's a lot of that too. Like so, like in terms of like
personal,
right? It's not even personal. It's like on the community level, right? Accountability looks like that. You're like, bro, I don't even know you. You don't know me. Like that's. It's not okay, but it's okay. Because we all know where we are and what we've been through. And what we've been through, we only know what we've been through it.
This episode is sponsored by the Original People and the Eve Gene, where we take culture and style and put it together. Stay in the latest fashion, be unapologetic, and represent the melanin in you. Shop at TopTagApparel.com.
What's going on, family? Peace and love. Peace and love. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And we are the #1 podcast for individuals that are seeking to end generational dysfunction. What's good with
seeking, cuz.
Always. We ain't trying, we doing. You guys stop using that around.
I got to, man. They're trying, man.
We ain't doing that. We ain't bringing that into the spring.
Man, a lot of people I be hanging out with. You always said trying. You right, cuz, man. That's one of them generation things that you always hear black folks say. Trying, cuz. You hear that all the time. Trying. I'm breaking that.
Accountability.
I'm breaking that. Yeah, hold me accountable, cuz. You know me. That's one of them.
Doing.
Hey, hold me accountable. Hold them accountable. We sitting in front of the judge. Nah, I'm messing with you, though. How you feeling, though, because how you feeling?
I feel great, man. I feel great. Just been doing a lot of self-discovery, a lot of great things dealing with my family, man. I actually met one of my a great uncle of mine recently, and that was powerful. And this is on my father's side, and that was powerful just to meet him and just
hear. What's your great uncle
name? Ricky.
Ricky.
Shout out to Uncle Ricky.
Shout out to Uncle Ricky.
Yeah, just hearing just the stories of them growing up in Mendenhall, Mississippi was powerful.
So this is your father's?
This is my father's uncle.
Your father's uncle?
My father's uncle, yep. Okay. He's 66. Just
so he's young. That means for him to be how old was your pops?
My pops, when he transitioned, he was 63.
63?
And this was almost 6 years ago.
So him and his
they were around the same age, yeah.
So grandparents, man.
They were around the same age. My actual grandfather, he's 89.
He's 89?
He's 89, so they're 23 years apart.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, so so it was a powerful one. Just hearing this story of how he like grew up in the South, man. Literally in the country, Mendenhall, Mississippi. It's I was just like there, just soaking it all in, being a sponge, and I was elated, man. I was excited, but I'm just like blown away at the same time. I was like, damn, this really my roots. My roots are really down here.
Oh, deep.
For real. So yeah, man, it was a great experience, man. I really cannot use words to describe the feeling that I had when I was in that space, but it was. I almost cried tears of joy, to be real with you. Just to hear all of that. Man.
That's real, man. I know. It feel magnificent to hear about your family stories, man. Mm-hmm. Like how you were saying, cause you were saying that with your great grandpa was a truck driver, and your grandpa don't. That's right.
Yeah.
Great grandpa, your grandpa.
Yep. And my uncle did too.
And your uncle did too.
Uncle Ricky.
You said you was thinking about it cause you was gonna be on the road again.
No. I never wanted to. I was I considered for like 5 seconds to like do something within the trucking industry in terms of like dispatching and like buying a truck and stuff like that. Starting that business venture, but Nah, I never wanted to be behind the wheel of 18-wheeler.
Nah, 18-wheeler, pushing forward, man, in that 18-wheeler.
I don't know what that is. He always making up stuff.
Hey, man, that's them songs. Some of them songs you just never heard of, cuz, man.
Right.
Cuz ain't heard a lot of things.
Because he's making them up in his head.
I sure will. You ain't heard them, cuz.
Ain't nobody heard them.
Hey, it's a hit. Underground hits. I got a whole underground hit. So if you look at the sign up, a rapper, I got you, man.
I'm not holding him accountable to none of that. Nope.
I'm on there. I got the 18-wheeler, but no, cuz I'm glad you got to experience that, man, and learn more about your traditions, man, because you always digging that up. That's what you like to do. You know, you're an archaeologist of your own family. You digging that up. You digging it up. You're probably not out there actually digging dirt, but you digging your family up, man.
Absolutely.
Keep doing that, cuz, man. I'm going to hold you accountable for that, man. You know, that's what this,
please.
That's what this.
Please do.
That's what this show is about. This show is about holding yourself accountable, holding people around you accountable. Cuz, I'm a big fan of that. Cuz like to read, I'm gonna throw you a little info out here. Cuz like to read everything in the back. He got me doing that now. Cuz like to read the ingredients in his food before he eat anything.
Got to.
So anytime I'm around Cuz, before I give him something, I'm like, here, Cuz, go ahead and read that. Hey, you ain't getting none of that.
He does it. Yeah.
Hey, you ain't getting nothing. You can't eat none of my food till you read the back. You say you read the back of your food, then let me see you do that then. If that's what you say you do, let me see you do it. And I'm a big advocate fan of, I hold people around me accountable because I want them to hold me accountable. If I say I want to do this in my life, I want you to help me because obviously if you see me lacking, sometimes I might be lacking. So you hold me accountable helps me not be lacking. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Hold somebody accountable, that's helping your friend, helping not only helping your friend, helps yourself. You holding yourself accountable like, yeah, okay. Like we do all the time. We like, hey, cuz, we see each other slacking here to A, B, C, and D. How we gonna fix it? Well, this is what we're gonna do to improve. We're gonna fix A. We're gonna work on D. And all of that comes together and we're gonna fix on D. And so
absolutely,
it's just like that.
It's like, and also too with like accountability, right? It's like a mixture of these things, a few of these things, right? So it's like a mixture. It's like a melting pot or a one pot dish of like integrity, character, commitment, self-love, all of that. Like in my mind, in my opinion, makes up accountability. So it's like how can I hold myself accountable? Do I love myself enough to hold myself accountable? And then do I love the people around me and the people the potential I see in a person to hold them accountable to being a man or a woman of their word, right? So that's like the space I'm growing into, and unapologetically too. Like I'm growing into that unapologetically. I was like that, but I might not say nothing because of X, Y, and Z. But now I'm saying stuff. I'm speaking up more. I'm being brave as I speak, and also with me speaking, I'm learning like how to deliver that message to a specific individual too. Like by default, I'm real like direct and like this is what it is, this is what it ain't type situation, right? Yeah. Like now I'm like, okay, like what? Think about it like this type situation. So it's I'm learning how to maneuver different conversations with different types of people. And I'm extremely proud of that, holding myself accountable to grow into something of that nature, to be able to communicate with different people. That's the end of the day, we gotta communicate with each other. If you can't communicate, you can't hold anybody accountable.
And like you said, the big thing you said right there, we gotta know how to communicate with different people. Yeah. With people outside of ourselves that look like ourselves, that act like ourselves. That's you gotta go out your boundaries. When you went, like everybody says, man, this is just not just me coming from a higher stature in life. I'm at the same level as y'all. You know what I mean? It's just me, analyzing.
It's just different.
Just different, And if you look at it, man, they all talk about that. Getting out the comfort zone. How many times you hear people talking about getting out that comfort zone? You gotta hold yourself accountable. You gotta find that comfort zone. Like this little mission me and my wife on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Us traveling and actually trying to work on getting the original people in the Eve Jean clothing line, which sponsors Lead Your Lineage podcast.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So shout out to our sponsors out there at the original people in the Eve Gene. But but we getting out of our comfort zone out of Indianapolis. Indianapolis is where my mama was raised. It's where my grandma was raised. My great grandma, she come from I don't know where she from. She from somewhere in Mississippi. I'm sorry, I don't recall. But yeah, she's from somewhere in Mississippi. But so that's what 2-3 generations, and then my daddy people, I don't know where they from, but I know they been in Indianapolis. You know what I mean? So getting out of that comfort zone, and that's that. We always talk about genes. That's a lot of that's in our genes to stay where our parents were and stay. Stay in that. People don't stay like 20 miles away from their moms. Most people, you know what I mean? And, hey,
that's interesting.
Yeah, man. Hey, but I feel that though, Mama. Mama, I love you. Even if you are not watching this, I love you. Hey, I can. Hey, get that, boy. I feel them though, cause that's why I said I'm gonna be doing it for 13 weeks. You know what I mean? Out of the year, I gotta see my mom. I gotta see my grandma. But but me still going out there and doing it is out of the 3 months out of the year. Like you said, that's 25% of the year. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm in a city, in random cities I don't know. Trying to spread my podcast, Lead Your Lineage, trying to spread my clothing line. Well, I'm doing it, you know what I mean?
You don't take no accountability. I'm
holding me accountable. Keep talking about trying, but yeah, I'm doing it. So I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna show, and I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna achieve, and they gonna be like, oh, okay, I got it, and I'm gonna put that implant in my genes. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
So. Yeah, that's dope.
But no, all real talk. So get out of the comfort zone, holding myself accountable, seeing like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do in order to grow. That's what I'm gonna do. And like I said earlier, this is every day I strive to get better, and this is what I see. In order to get better, I have to hold myself accountable on those certain characteristics I have to achieve. I have to start implementing in myself. I have to start getting more. I have to get better at scheduling. So that's me holding myself accountable. Okay, now in my room we have a little schedule, daily little tasks on there.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? We wake up, we write it up. We raise, we do that. So just finding out where I can work to get the billions of dollars I already have. I just have to know how to go get them. So hold myself accountable of being that $1 billion man that I know I am.
Absolutely, and also too, like within that same lens of accountability, with you speaking into existence, being $1 billion man, right? Like that's, you have to also figure out like what that takes. This is the law of duality. Like this is, if that's the goal to set your family up, to lead your lineage and like financially, right? What do you have to leave behind? We talked about this on a previous episode. Like, what are the leaves that you have to shed to be able to grow into this billionaire, to be able to lead your lineage? If that's the goal that you want, like, what does that look like? But we have to have those type of conversations too, and we'll talk off the air about this too. But this is something that I'm thinking about myself as well. Like I'm like surrounded by people that are around those people. Right, so I'm like 1 degree of separation from those people that are like, they're attracting that or pursuing that or chasing it, however they want to word it for themselves, right? So I'm like, and then I'm like hearing from like, oh, they got to do X, Y, and Z, they got to do this. While I'm like, does this really fit into how I want to do it? And is this still an achievable goal based off of how I want to do it? So it's like having those internal conversations to see if I can be accountable to this goal that I speak into existence. So this is like, and that really gets down into like really evaluating yourself too. And then once you put it into the universe gonna hold you accountable regardless. But then having those people in your circle, I call it a sacred circle, that can hold gratitude, that can hold you accountable. So yeah, like sacred with the sacred circle too. That's how I look at it. So I want to touch on that, on accountability, right? So I'm in the center. It's like a bullseye. If you take a picture of a bullseye, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the center of it.
Yeah.
Then you have like your immediate people around there, like those people that if you need something, no matter what it is, from A to Z, you would call them.
Mm-hmm.
You got that next circle. It's like, yo, like if you get on hard times, like you need somewhere to stay, or you need a few dollars, or you need a meal, or you need some water, whatever that may be, right? You need to take care of a need. You call them, you know they got you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how my sacred circle is formed.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm saying, like I'm in the middle, holding myself accountable, and I got that next outer layer that I can call them for whatever. If we gotta go to war, or if we gotta go to Wendy's, like that's what they with.
I go to war, but not Wendy's with you.
I ain't going to Wendy's either. You know what I'm saying? But
I ain't going to Wendy's.
I've been there before. So, and it's like this having in that next circle is like if I really like need something in turn to help me get through this season of life, I can call those type of people. And that's what my accountability circle looks like. That's who's holding me accountable with me in the center of that.
I like that, cuz. I like that. That's dope.
Gratitude.
That's dope. Hey, that was dope. See, I ain't never thought about that. So you basically got yourself. It's kind of like a layer, kind of just a layer of people you surround yourself.
If you look at it like this, it's like similar to a cell. You got the nucleus in the cell, and you got everything around it. And you got the cell membrane itself. It's a cell. Bullseye's a cell.
What type of, speaking like on our last video we dropped,
take the eyeball too.
What type of morals and values these people gotta have? Cause look, cuz this is another thing. I hold my friends accountable in order to call you my friend. I hold you accountable. Like on some real stuff. I'm not saying, like if you're going through hard times, I'm not gonna drop you or nothing. But you know what I mean? I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna help you out. But I'm talking about like, if I see you not holding yourself accountable, I feel like we just can't click because birds of a feather flock together. So this is holding yourself accountable goes back to the last video. Morals and values, you know what I mean? The VIPs. What kind of morals and values you need? You need them type of people to have in your circles.
Yeah. First and foremost, if they have children, whether man or woman, if they're not a great parent, good parent.
Yeah, what's a great art?
My father was a great father. My mother's a great mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
my mama is too. Shout out to my mama.
So it's like if they're not in that, if like when I see them parent their children and I don't get like that internal feeling of like, yo, I'm like, that's how my mother or father would do it. If it doesn't make me feel that way, if I don't see that in them, then I'm like, okay, I'm cool.
I agree.
That's how I personally look at it. Like, yo, you're a great mother, you're a great father, because I know I had that experience for myself. Like, yes, they had their downfalls and whatnot, like everybody else on earth does, right?
Yeah.
But overall, like they are great parents, right? So. That's the first thing if they have children. If they don't have children, right? It's like, okay, what are you doing to grow? Whether that be, are you going to therapy? Are you improving your income? Are you getting your health together? Are you giving back to like your family or community? What are you doing to grow to improve yourself? If you're just here to stay the same for 70, 80 years on Earth, then we not really like. I'm constantly on an upward trajectory. It's gonna be a roller coaster, but I'm gonna always go up.
You know what you remind me of, cuz?
What's up?
The melanated community as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
We're not holding. Man, you just reminded me of this talking about that. We're not holding ourselves accountable. We want to vote for the next president. No, I'm waiting for the next president to come and be the one to help and rescue us. We waiting on people to come out the sky and rescue us.
Mm-hmm.
We waiting on anybody but ourselves. We waiting on these athletes and celebrities that we see on television all the time to come and help us. When we gotta be the ones that helping ourselves.
Absolutely.
We gotta be the ones. We gotta hold ourselves accountable, man. You gotta be that change and what you want to see. And even if you don't see it around you, you gotta hold yourself accountable. Be like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is how I think life should be. This is how I think a man should hold himself. I'm only saying a man because I'm a man. I don't know how it is to be a woman. So you know, hold myself as a man or a woman or whatever you are. You know, hold yourself up to the par that you see that fits. You know, because man, a lot of times, you know, we always got this wishing. I wish I hit the lottery playing. No disrespect to you if you play the lottery, but I'm just saying you wishing you playing with these cards when you really could spend that same amount of money and take that odds and make it your odds and hold yourself accountable. You got a higher amount of odds of you succeeding. When you hold yourself accountable, you wishing on this lucky number that everybody else wishing on. Which, if you pay attention, nobody else is holding themselves accountable, right? Everybody wishing on this president. Everybody hitting this lottery. Everybody waiting for this person to come out the sky, come and save them, right? The people who are succeeding are the people who are not doing those things. Those are the people who said, forget that, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a billionaire. Not even I'm going to be a billionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be successful. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be successful. There's people who out here ain't got $1 billion or $1 million, but they successful.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we gotta give them gratitude. We gotta give those people gratitude too. So you know what I mean? And what all do? They all hold themselves accountable. Accountability. You know? And we all got it because we all got the ability to do anything we please.
Absolutely, and like that was great. To add on to that too, like when we look at the collective in terms of accountability, right? Yeah. There's lack there. There's like I also see the people in my generation. I see that changing. Yeah. For people in my generation, yeah, I'll speak for the people in my generation that I'm around, that are around my age, right? They're stepping up. They're stepping up to the plate to be able to be that change. And they say they want to be that change, and like. We're open to have those conversations about what that looks like for ourselves, right? Yeah. Because it's not just about being the most healthy, being the most rich, being the most emotionally available or unavailable, whichever side of the spectrum you're on, being the most mentally strong, being the most spiritually inclined, right? It's about abundance. It's about having abundance in all these areas of the human experience. It's about having people around you that can hold you accountable to going to that high level, to going on that growth trajectory to have abundance in these human experiences that we have here on Earth. So, like, in my view, accountability and abundance go hand in hand, from my perspective. It's like, say for instance, right, I go, like, cuz I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. I was like, cuz hold me accountable to that. Like you got on me earlier about something for the podcast, something we gotta do on the back end of the podcast. You like, cuz you supposed to be had it, and I was like, you right. I'm in the wrong for that. I'm gonna get on that this week. Right? So like having those like intimate conversations, having those safe spaces too, to have those conversations. Because if we weren't close, like we bro, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be that type of situation. Like it's a lot of that too. Like so like in terms of like personal, right? It's not even personal. It's like on the community level, right? Accountability looks like that. You're like, bro, I don't even know you. You don't know me. Like it's not okay, but it's okay because we all know where we are and what we've been through, and what we've been through. We only know that we've been through it, or the dysfunction that we may be in.
You know, cuz if we look at this as cuz everything, believe it or not, everything is a team. Being a part of a race is a team. So look, I'm gonna take it back to football. Okay. Everybody has their job, right? Correct. The wide receiver is the wide receiver. The offensive line blocks. Mm-hmm. The running back runs the ball. The quarterback hands off and throws the ball, and all the etc. Right? You remember how you told me? Because I didn't get to play too much higher league football, but you told me that everybody in football thinks like, I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna hold you accountable to do your job, right? Right. That's how they look at it, correct? Correct. Yeah. So teams that win the championship most likely the NFL teams to win the Super Bowl. My fault, I said championship. Super Bowl.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Most of those players held each other accountable. Tom Brady, when he won the Super Bowl all the times, his center made sure he blocked, and he was holding Tom Brady accountable that I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna be blocking, but I expect you to throw that football and get us a first down, 5 yards, or a touchdown every time. His wide receivers saying the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna run my route, and I expect you to get that ball in my hand. You know what I mean? And at the same time, he's even though he's the leader of the team, he's still holding everybody else accountable. You know what I mean? He holding himself accountable. He got to make sure you block, make sure you run the right route, so I can throw that there to you. So in order to be a successful team, we have to hold each other accountable. We have to do our jobs, and we have to do our jobs well, and expect that we can trust. For instance, like, okay, let me break it down in the government. When we have our government, say, because I know I'm putting this into existence. We will make Kemet great again. We'll become great again, like Menace and all them.
You gonna put it on the shirt?
Hey, no, that's where they got it from.
Okay.
They got it from that. Yeah. We'll make Kemet great again. Yeah,
Okay.
Shabaka Stone. Yeah, shout out to Shabaka Stone. Yeah, this is real. They got that. They steal everything from us, cuz. So anyway, man, you can't get me hyped with that. I be getting hyped about my ancestors. I don't play for my ancestors, cuz. But yeah, so what was you saying? So anyway, put it on the government aspect, okay? Say when we get our own government, we run our own government, correct? Okay, we got to make sure everybody in the government is doing their job, from the president to the Senate to all the way to the person who has a little job, a regular 9-to-5 job. This is why, cuz we gotta help. We gotta in our community. We never hold people accountable. These people who normally we call leaders, they always breaking and budging. They not helping them, giving back up to the community. They have personal missions. Mm-hmm. So we not holding them accountable. They give us all this negativity, and we never say, hey, stop all that negativity, man. Stop talking about, I'm gonna keep it 100. Stop talking about, they're making money off of talking about killing black folks, real black folks. Why we not holding them accountable like, hey, stop making that type of music? We tired of hearing that. Stop making money off of us, talking about killing us, by us. We still supporting this type of stuff. They make movies, right? They make movies about us killing us. And what we do, we support them. No, we gotta start holding the movie directors accountable. Hey, look, you black, bro. We suspected you to make this a regular movie. Why black folks can't have a regular movie? Why we gotta always be selling drugs? Why we can't have no hangover type movie? You know what I mean? We gotta start holding those people in position accountable. Like I was saying, going back to the government. When we get our own president, or when we get our own senate on them, we gotta be able to trust them in order for them to hold themselves accountable and hold each other accountable to make the correct decisions to keep our government pushing forward, so we will not collapse again, like how we did in the past. And that's another thing. We could talk about football, Another thing, in order to hold each other accountable, we talking about football, right? Remember I used this one with film.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody always asking, what's so important about history? If you watch the great quarterbacks, and if you watch the football, I'm bringing back to football. Yes, once again. I don't know, but anyway. If you watch the great quarterbacks or great football players anyway, what they always said, they study the before game, before nights, especially before the Super Bowl. What they doing? They watching film. What is film? Previous football games that they played. It's history, cuz film is history. Yeah. It's history of who they throw the ball to, what plays they play. What play they play at a certain down, what route they run, how do they run their defense, how do they normally do this? That's history, cuz. Those players are looking at history in order to know what may happen, because history repeats itself. If they getting 45 yards off of this play that they've been running all year, you don't think that they're going to play it in the Super Bowl? You don't think that they're going to run this run at the Super Bowl? Because they've been realizing that this play works the whole year. Why would I switch it up?
And then also, too, like, with that being said, right, everything that you expressed, how do we, yes, how do we hold each other accountable when we don't even trust each other? That's the missing piece. I think I shared this with you off camera, right?
Yes, sir.
That we have to, as a collective, right, the 30 million people that are in America, right, that look like us, we have to first, it's my opinion, we have to first be able to heal our own individual traumas. That goes back to the sacred circle example I gave earlier, right?
Yep.
If you're not in the center of that circle, holding your own self accountable to being integral, having high caliber character, being committed to whatever the commitment is, being loyal to the mission, whatever that may be, right? If you're not able to hold yourself accountable and love yourself, how can you trust the next person, begin to trust the next person if collectively, you look at the film, you look at the history, right? It hasn't been done in decades. There hasn't been like a mass unimind of us holding accountable and us moving on one accord in decades. And it's like, how do we get back to that? How do we get back to being able to, like, say for instance, I go on the street and I see a young brother disrespecting his mother or something like that, right? I'd be like, yo, hey, little bro, like, don't disrespect your mom like that. And then his mother may come in and be like, yo, don't talk to my son like that. I'm just here to make sure he don't disrespect you.
Yeah.
Because I love both of y'all. But everybody's not at that point yet. So it's like, you have to meet people where they are. But also, too,
we got uncomfortable.
We
got uncomfortable. Like you said, we just don't trust each other. Just don't trust each other. Like, we got uncomfortable. I think it's like more of an embarrassment. Like, instead of like, oh, dang, don't be talking to my son like that. Now they put the blame on you instead of being like, I should talk to my son like that. It really go. You know what kills me? Cause going back to those,
is it really killing you though?
Man,
It bothers
me. You know what grinds my gears? We was
you talking like that grinds mine.
Hey, you know when I was talking about how we've been the football plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
How if we look at how if we watching film, it'd be like watching film. History would be like watching film. So if we watching history and seeing why we doing the same stuff, it's the same. That goes all the way back to the Willie Lynch letters, cuz. Why that would happen, man. Why that scenario you just used of that mother attacking you after you try to correct her, that all goes into, they've been playing the same plays for thousands of years, cuz. It's like, wow, they've been playing the same. And it's like we not changing our defense. We like, oh no, man, they ain't gonna do it again. They ain't gonna do it again. They do it right again. They were like, oh no, they ain't gonna do it again. They do it again. They do it again. We know why, and then we forget. Then after previous times, our team switched because people get old, gotta retire and all that. And the people who retired didn't tell the people about what plays they was running, and they never gave them the film work. They never gave them like, hey, this is what play they keep running. They gonna keep running. It all goes back to that. That's just, we don't trust each other. We lost not only trust, we lost belief in each other. We don't believe that. We'll believe something. Let me put this in a scenario. I'm gonna put it in the easy scenario. If a European came and a European American, you know what I mean? If a European American came up to you and told you something, and another black man came up and told you something, you're most likely to believe the European American because the way how they have strategized our thinking. So think about it, if you take the scenario out and you was a white man and you approach that like, hey young man, it's a higher chance of the mother not saying nothing. Not saying she won't. I'm saying it's just a higher chance of her not saying nothing. She probably will. It is some mamas out there who gonna still snap. You know what I mean? They don't care who it is. But it's less likely of the chance of it happening if you're a white man, because it comes all the way back to slavery, all the way back to Willie Lynch. The white man know what's right. He just came to help. When black man come, black man don't know nothing. When black woman come, black woman don't know nothing. If you see on social media right now, we always going black man versus black woman. Why we always hating each other? All the black men, nah, fuck all that. Look, to be honest, everybody always saying black man versus black woman. To be honest, we both at messed up positions right now in life.
Yeah, right. Everything.
We both. Why are we pointing each other? Why are we pointing the finger at each other when we both say, "Dang, you messed up. I'm messed up too." Let's figure out how we can fix this as a team. We not all this black man versus black woman.
That goes to us being able to be in the space to be vulnerable too, though. Right. We have to be vulnerable to let somebody in, to have that relationship, to hold us accountable, and to have each other to trust. So it's like we're communal people. Point blank period, right? We're communal people, and then like when you like take that aspect away, psychologically you embed X, Y, and Z to program somebody to be anti what they are, then that creates another issue within self. So it's like we first and foremost, the majority of us don't really know who we are. We haven't done the work to figure out who we are. And we don't love ourselves on that level, because we really knew who we are. You would love yourself more.
You would.
You would really love yourself to a higher standard that you could see or feel, whichever your logic or emotions, whatever one is your default. Then from there, you'll be more open to having those boundaries to allow people in, because you know yourself. You know what you can. You know what you are willing to withstand and what you're not willing to withstand.
Yeah.
Like you would know that about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, you can build relationships to trust people, and then from there, the old saying, each one teach one.
Teach one.
Then we can move forward from there, but it has to start with self. Even though the issue is that we're thinking too individually right now. Yeah. We have to start where we are, use what we have, and do what we can. That's one of my favorite quotes of all time.
Say it again. Say it.
Start where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Use what you have, and do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's starting with self. Like I say, this is counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But it's like we've been programmed to think for self. So let's use that programming in an intuitive way and be able to come on the other side as a collective community of people that we are.
Right.
That's my thought process. That's my psychology.
What does hold yourself accountable look like? What does that present? Each is his own. I'm just asking you, what does holding yourself accountable look like? What does that look like? For me,
hold myself accountable looks like being, so for example, right, I haven't had meat since July 19th of 2017.
2017?
Yeah, that was the last time I ate meat.
What would you eat? What did you remember?
I think it was like some chicken or something.
Was it good?
Yeah, if I was eating it, I ain't none of this.
Fire! It was fire!
But yeah, I haven't went back to eating meat since. So that's how I've been able to hold myself accountable. Another way I hold myself accountable too. So that's on the health tip, right? Then on a community tip, and I think this is mental and emotional too. All that ties in. I've been a member of a community organization for the past 6 years, Bloom Project, and we have a meeting every third week of the school calendar year. So for the past almost 6 years, I haven't missed any of the meetings. For almost 6 years, because my father said, the last words he said to me is, "I love you too." And then one of my other mentors, he said, "Get involved." Earlier in the year in 2016. So that's my foundation right there.
You ain't gotta answer this question, cuz.
What's up?
You ain't gotta answer this question. But man, when he said "I love you," you say that a lot. You always say when he said he loved you too. Was this your first time you heard your pop say he loved you too?
No, it wasn't.
So why did it stand out that time?
That was the last time he spoke to me.
That was the last.
That was the last words he said to me.
Damn.
After that, that's when he had. I don't know how long after he said those words to me. I don't know how long after he had his stroke, but he had his stroke after that, and he couldn't speak anymore.
Okay, that's why that stood out. So
He couldn't. He was still alive, but he wasn't able to speak anymore. He was on life support at the hospital, and my mother, and this is accountability. This goes to accountability. So I'm glad you asked me this question too. My mother and father, they had a conversation when I was a young child. They both said they don't want to be on any machine to help them live.
Yeah.
So my mother like stood on that and held that expectation and held that thought accountable. Those words are accountable. So she was like, okay, he said this, and like a spiritual thing that they said for each other, set out for each other. It was able to go through, and like she took him off life support because that was an agreement that they came to. So she held up her end of her accountability.
And that's
they both said that to each other. My mother told me that. It was like, hey, we're not going to be on any machines to keep us alive. It was like, no, we're not doing that.
I feel them.
So they did their thing. I respected it, and like that was that. Then he went home, but he's still within me though.
Yeah, you feel.
Shout out to Herman Franklin Washington Jr. I love you.
You feel.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's accountability on a deeper emotional level.
That's real deep, cuz. That was deep one, cuz. Got me, look, I was sitting like this, I done sat back. That was a deep one.
I have a lot of examples of accountability in my life, and I think, like I said earlier, like having integrity, having a high caliber character, being committed to something, being loyal, and loving yourself, those are, in my opinion, those are some of the most important values of a great man and great woman.
Great.
And then that's like as the individual, like as Sean, as Taron, as
wrong.
Like those individual traits are some of the highest priorities in terms of being a person of accountability, a person of self-love, integrity, character, things of that nature. All that wraps into accountability for self. And that makes you a great man, a great woman in my eyes. And then you start adding other different people, other elements like my mother and my father. That's a whole different level of expectation. So there's levels to everything in life.
Yeah.
So that accountability piece is it goes, like I said, it goes to another level once you add another human being to it.
Agreed. So and anything you want to say wrapping this up, cuz, man?
Oh man, it's been a great episode, man.
Great, man. This one at the ballpark. Home run. You know,
you didn't play no baseball, did you?
Nah, cuz I just be, like you said earlier, I just be making shit up. Hey, that's what it sounds like to me. That's what I do. Woo! I just make it up. But nah, what you gotta say today?
Yeah, man. It's been another phenomenal episode, man. Like I love doing this stuff with you, cuz we're literally changing lives with this, man.
Family, real family, man.
Absolutely real family.
Same, different last name. But we doing for the goddess, man. You know what I mean? Just shout out to the goddesses that's watching this, man. This is what we do. You know, shout out to the lineage. You know what I mean? And man, don't forget, man. Our podcast is sponsored by the original people of Eugene. You know, and make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. Like I love to say, make sure you comment down below. You know, what's the email? Lead your lineage.
Yeah, lead your lineage at gmail.com.
Yeah, gmail.com.
Questions. If you want to get interviewed, things of that nature. We're interviewing people from, as we're going to the spring season, we're interviewing people that have 9-to-5s that also are running a multi-million-dollar business and everybody in between, right? Because everybody has a story to about leading their lineage, and we want to know that story. We want y'all to share this platform with us to help others grow. You know, this is not just about the two of us. It's about a whole collective of healing and leading our lineage away from generational dysfunction. That's what we own. So, yeah, cuz. Any last words?
Man, separate. Just keep it pushing. Don't forget to hold yourself accountable. The ones that are around you accountable. Hold yourself accountable as a parent, as a human, and always remember: be that person that you wish be that hero that you wish was here. You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
Be that hero that you wish exists. If you believe, if you wish Superman was real, be the Superman. That's all I gotta say.
I understood.
Yeah.
All right, family. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And like we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. And with that, we out. See y'all next time.
Peace, man. Stay melanated.